UFC 308 is going down this weekend in the Octagon, and you are not going to want to miss it. You can make fight night even more exciting by getting in on the action with my partners, DraftKings. Right now, all new customers who bet $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Sign up using my code Sonnen. DraftKings, the crown is yours. You can also stay in on the NFL action and use your $200 in bonus bets to bet anytime touchdowns on DraftKings. DraftKings is the place to bet touchdowns. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers, download the app. Use my promo code SONNEN. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SONNEN. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Ankalaev versus Rakić. Guys, I cannot believe the spread at DraftKings. And this hasn't moved. It has not moved in an entire week. Ankalaev is a plus 410. Do you understand what that means? If you go to DraftKings, you got to put up $410. If you bet on Ankalaev, you put up $410. For every $410 that you put up, they will give you your bet back plus 100. Okay. So Rakić is a minus 320. So for every $100 you put forward, if you win, they will give you your $100 bet back plus $320. This is a massive swing. And it really doesn't matter how big the odds or the lines go. It truly doesn't, because it could be a super close fight or it could be a complete blowout. It's going to pay out the same. From that conceptual basis alone, fine. I also see Ankalaev as a favorite. But when this fight got announced, the biggest question I had is this 5 rounds or is it 3 rounds? Because when it was announced, it was the only fight that was announced for the card. It looked like a big feature match, which is what it was being called. So a lot of us in the public assumed, okay, this is going to be our main, possibly our co-main. Well, it turns out it's not. Very relevant. These guys are going to fight for 3 rounds. I am certain that Rakić can beat him at times. I am certain that Rakić can beat him in positions. I am certain that Rakić can beat him in an opening frame like, say, the first round, where Rakić always competes very well. Just to remind you, well, here, I'll give you a fun fact on Rakić. I've never seen a fight that was completed where Rakić did not win the first round. I've never seen him lose a first round. So if we're going to use that kind of history, okay, great. There's still 2 left, plenty of time for Rakić to stub his toe. But between the two, he's only got to win 1 round. And you're telling me you're going to pay 4-1 on that? I just think it's an interesting concept. And I keep trying to bring this to people because something here is missing. Rakić and Ankalaev, something here is missing. The buzz around it seems to be missing. Dana himself is definitely looking at this as a number 1 contenders fight, but he has put a caveat on it. He even told Ankalaev, which Ankalaev revealed at a press conference, that not only does Ankalaev need to win, he needs to look good doing it. It needs to be a fun and exciting fight in the process. That is very standard procedure at the UFC, but just to bring to your attention, that is a built-in narrative. And I do think that's something that DraftKings is missing, right? Like, money follows attention. It doesn't matter if you're doing stocks or you're handicapping fist fights. Money follows attention, and all of it right now is on Ankalaev because Rakić hasn't sought any of it. Rakić is usually pretty good with the back and forth. He stayed out of this one. Rakić, for the better part of 2 years, has not gotten a result that he was happy with, and now he thinks it's like unsportsmanlike, and he's going to stand in the corner with his mouth shut. And the reason I'm telling you that is, right, I mean, there's only 2 schools of thought. Are you fully focused on something? And if you're not fully focused on it, the things that have some of your attention are those distractions, or is it a good thing? And I can speak from personal experience. Having distractions was a good thing for me, but I never met a coach that told me to have distractions. They wanted everybody, got to fully focus, and you got to zero in on this guy. And I mean, it just comes down to the athlete, because Ankalaev and Ankalaev's past does seem to always deal with the task right at hand. And that is not the case here. If you go back and you look at Ankalaev interviews leading into this fight, whether he's a 3-1 favorite at DraftKings or not, if you go and read those interviews, none of them end up being on Rakić. They start on Rakić, and Ankalaev himself will get off of Rakić and get instantly into Alex Pereira. He builds a bridge in every conversation to get to Pereira, to being the number one contender, to talk about what he was told and how he becomes the number one contender and how that's the most important thing to him. Listen, for some athletes, coming from myself, that's a good thing. Analysis can lead to a paralysis by your body and all these different, but I'm telling you, I've never seen Ankalaev do it before. I haven't seen Ankalaev come out and do a lot of press and a lot of media. Now, he might find something about himself that he likes it, that he does better operating in that realm. I'm just sharing for you. It hasn't been done before, so you don't actually know. I'm sharing for you that Rakić hasn't done indie interviews because he is fully focused on getting his hand raised over Ankalaev. I really believe if Rakić beats Ankalaev, Rakić will draw right into Pereira, and there won't be any thought about it. We'll talk about this fight like, well, yes, of course, I told you it was a number one contenders fight. Well, I mean, I fully believe that. I think everybody knows that. But you won't get Rakić to speak about that. He is locked in. He is laser focused on Ankalaev, and Ankalaev is looking in other directions. He's not wrong to do that. It's a hard fight. But DraftKings is saying there's a 4-1 spread, a minus 320 in one direction, that being Rakić. That would represent a blowout. Anytime you get to 3-1, you're talking about complete domination, and you suspect there's going to be a finish. This fight, there is nothing about it or any other number one contenders match that I can remember that had a built-in element of domination. If Dana knew it was going to be a 4-1 spread, a 3-1 spread going into the fight, he didn't even need to hold the fight. He could have just given it to Ankalaev and booked him against Pereira. It is not a foregone conclusion. Don't let DraftKings fool you. Don't let anybody fool you. The sleeper card, the sleeper fight of this card is Rakić Ankalaev, and the sleeper athlete is Rakić.